Dominica to observe Hazard Awareness Week. Government Employment and Small Business Support Agency launches its second apprenticeship program, and the OECS EDU to provide support to non-traditional sectors. Hello and welcome to another edition of National Focus. I'm Jarna Hector.
And I'm Kimani. Stay with us for details of the headline stories and others right after this.
Let your spirit take to flight. Let your heart run free and wild. Find your soul in Dominica, the nature isle.
Welcome back. 1 week before the official start of the 2013 hurricane season, the Office of Disaster Management is looking to bring awareness about other adverse natural weather events which could affect the island. Steve Joseph of the Office of Disaster Management says Hazard Awareness Week, which began on Monday, is being observed under the theme, "Planning to Plan is not a Plan." Joseph says throughout the week, all sectors of the community will be encouraged to put effective disaster management plans in place.
We feel the importance of bringing to focus the need for families to plan, for schools to have their emergency plans done, for communities either to review their existing plans or to ensure that they have completed plans, not just beginning or thinking or planning to plan, but to have engaged in a process of either consulting the Office of Disaster Management or the local government department or the Red Cross as agencies that will provide the technical guidance, but to ensure that your communities have gone through a process of putting a plan together and have tested that plan. So we want to ensure that the plan doesn't just get developed and be placed on the shelf, but that it is actually exercised to identify gaps and weaknesses, and hopefully through an evaluation and review process, you'll strengthen that plan to ensure that the community is better prepared.
This is the 4th year that Hazard Awareness Week is being observed. Joseph says the Office of Disaster Management has been actively working with the communities and schools in ensuring that proper plans are developed.
We held a workshop for principals just last month, guided by assistance of the USAID, and introducing the importance of safety schools, that schools must look into having an emergency plan in place, your evacuation routes, to ensure that there are clear assembly points, that you've tested your response if you're impacted by an earthquake. So to ensure that there's a system that has been developed that the school is aware of, principal and staff, the students, even parents who come to the school to pick up their children. So we're also looking at having a partnership between schools and communities. Schools are located in communities, and so community leaders and operatives must be concerned about all the elements of your community: the elderly, the vulnerable people, the persons that will need shelters, people with homes, but if their homes are not able to withstand the Category 2, Category 3 hurricanes, people will have to be moved to shelters. Some people homes can withstand a Category 1, 74 miles an hour and above. And so we're hoping this week to really raise awareness on the importance of completing a plan.
Joseph notes that during the Hazard Awareness Week, the Office of Disaster Management will also impress on various sectors within the community to view disaster management as a development issue.
The work program of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States Export Development Unit, OECS EDU, is moving to include non-traditional areas as tourism and agriculture. The current work program of the EDU involves the implementation of activities under the 10th EDF Economic Integration and Trade of the OECS region and is expected to provide support to firms and cluster groupings in a wide range of trade and economic integration matters over the next 5 years. The program is part of the regional strategy to further regional cooperation and deepen the process of integration of the OECS Economic Union. Head of OECS EDU, Dominican Vincent Filbert, says the unit will move towards embracing more creative niche areas.
In some respects, we're doing things a little differently. For instance, it's the first time we're doing a tourism component. So we're hoping to have some support for the tourism sector, which has not been a feature of the past. We're trying to see if we can do some work in the agricultural sector, with agricultural enterprises, non-traditional agriculture. Historically, we've done agribusiness work, but this time around, we're trying to do something in the agricultural sector. Organic agriculture, other things that are more creative than just the regular agriculture of the past.
The OECS EDU recently met with stakeholders to discuss its work program for the next year. Filbert says the unit is poised to working with export-ready enterprises.
We work with enterprises that we consider to be either export-ready or exporting. And export-ready, we have a structure by which we categorize them. We assess their ability to do things in a short time to become exporting entities in both services and products. But more importantly, we're looking for winners. We're looking for enterprises that have potential to do things. Innovative, young people, new ideas, creativity is important for us in addition to talking about exporting.
Dominica is expected to benefit from funding for the Banana Accompanying Measures, BAM, to assist enterprises in getting their projects off the ground.
What we can do is help enterprises who want to access the BAM as to how we can work to help the BAM receive viable project ideas, how we can help the BAM not have to start from scratch with every single business project that they have to consider. Some of them are clients of ours, so we can bring our information to the BAM to support enterprises who want to go into BAM support.
The recent stakeholder meeting at the Fortune Hotel brought together major players and cluster groupings in Dominica who are currently working with the Export Development Unit in the delivery of its various services.
In more news, the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, a division of the United States National Weather Service, in its seasonal outlook dated May 23rd, has predicted that the Atlantic Basin is expected to see an above normal hurricane season this year. The NOAA is predicting 12 to 18 named storms with winds of 39 miles per hour or higher, of which 6 to 10 could become hurricanes with winds of 74 miles per hour or higher, including 3 to 6 major hurricanes category 3, 4, or 5 with winds of 111 miles per hour or higher. Each of these ranges, according to the NOAA, has a 70% likelihood and indicates that activity will exceed the seasonal average of 11 named storms, 6 hurricanes, and 2 major hurricanes. Steve Joseph of the Office of Disaster Management says this news means that nationals should continue to be vigilant.
We need to prepare because even when these events pass just in the Atlantic Ocean, they tend to give us storm surge. And many of our coastal communities, we have as a country embarked on major sea defense works that helps to build the resilience of communities. But certainly we want people to be vigilant, people who live right on the seashore. We know our communities on the coast, St. Joseph, Maho, Massac, Bioche, Dublin, Portsmouth, Roseau. We cannot wait until these things impact us. We have to keep our minds clear and focus, listening to the radio, listening to the advisory, to watch the warnings, and to take the necessary action to put our house in order.
In early April, forecasters at Colorado State University released their Atlantic hurricane forecast for the 2013 season, calling for 18 named storms, 9 of which will be hurricanes. The Colorado State forecast says of the 9 predicted hurricanes, 4 would be major hurricanes, categories 3, 4, or 5, with sustained wind speeds of 111 miles per hour or higher.
Dominican contemporary artist Marvin Fabian hosted an art exhibition last week at the Tower Restaurant. Here's a report from Colette Ambo and Rian O'Brien on this event.
Dominican contemporary artist Marvin Fabian held his 5th art exhibition on Tuesday at the Tower Restaurant and Lounge Bar under the theme Signo. Fabian has been inspired by art since the tender age of 5 and has since been pursuing the craft, obtaining his A-levels and CXCs in art, as well as achieving a master's degree in visual and contemporary art. He says his passion in the field lies in its ability to question human behavior. Art requires great skill and technique, he says, to portray reality in different forms. Fabian's true zeal is for contemporary art, a form which is fairly new to the Caribbean. He believes that by using this art form, he is able to delve into the themes and cultural background of the region and question the attitudes and social customs of the Caribbean man. Fabian's work of art depicts just that. Most of his pieces are abstract. Particularly interesting are his social network creations, works of art which incorporate the icons of globally recognized internet social media. These pieces, he expressed, are based on his involvement in society not only as an artist, but as a computer engineer as well. He attempts to use proverbial icons with which spectators are both familiar and connected to.
Around these signs and symbols, you'll see some of my drawings and some of these drawings, certain graphic drawings around them, which is basically an environment. I'm creating an environment different from what a normal person would see. So I think basically you'd have to understand what it is, what a sign and a symbol is basically. Facebook, the creation of Facebook is basically a creation of a network of young people sharing, pictures and stories and young people's lives and all that stuff. And this symbol, the F, basically, it represents that way of life. So what I do basically is that I portray that attachment to that symbol.
Fabian's attempt to decontextualize spectators from the everyday environment was enhanced by the scenic setting of the Tower Lounge Bar. As the Tower restaurant is well known for its great wine, and since its customers have great taste, this trendy new restaurant is ideal for hosting art. According to Fabian, as art needs spectators with good taste. Placing his spectators in this atmosphere to view the representations of their everyday life fully encompasses Fabian's theme of Sing Dong. This figurative word represents a language which has been lost throughout the eras. This lingo is symbolic of the form of communication, he says, which is prominent in the world today through internet social networking.
When I talk about icons and signs, I am talking about this language, this interaction that we have between something that we like and hold precious to us, and how our attitude, how do we interact with that. I know most people cannot do that Facebook. I know if today cable wireless was to shut down for 2-3 days, I think that some of us would probably just stop talking because we type so much we stop talking. And this is a human interaction that these icons create.
To Fabian, art is a necessary component of the human fabric, and he believes that it is a positive means through which the youth of Dominica can channel their energy.
Young people in Dominica need the different areas of art to express themselves in, because there is a relationship with a physical element which is much more important and much more, it guides us much more than just having to type on a computer. Art allows you to have that physical relationship with an object, a paintbrush, a paint, to express yourself. Most of my children who do art with me are the troublesome ones, the ones who smoke, the ones who stay out of school, the ones who, they have that extra energy and they need somewhere to express that extra energy. And by giving them something to express themselves, they are able probably to tell you the things that they don't tell their parents, they don't tell their friends, they don't tell anybody, because they find a way to talk within the art that is not a language that everybody knows.
He commended the Cultural Division for the implementation of the Art Institute, which offers art as one of its courses. According to Fabian, the art form has evolved into something much greater than it used to be, and education in this field is also an education in sociology. It is Fabian's belief that art is no longer a simple depiction of the pretty pictures around us. It is a representation of the ugliness in our society, presented in a pretty way, meant to cause the public to question their actions.
Government Employment and Small Business Support Agency, which targets unemployment among persons between the ages of 18 and 35, launched its second apprenticeship module on Monday. The launching, which took place at the Public Service Training Center, featured Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit, who is also Minister for Finance, as a key speaker. In his remarks, Honorable Skerrit elaborated on the purpose of the small business apprenticeship, which he says contributes largely to the economic development of Dominica.
The development of small businesses is critical to addressing issues of unemployment and to address issues of economic activity within our economy. And this is why we established in 2008 the Small Business Support Unit. And since then, we have given out grants to various citizens of Dominica in excess of $8 million to either strengthen existing businesses or to establish new businesses.
Government, through the Ministry of Trade, is providing a weekly stipend to participants to facilitate their expenses during the 8-week program. Prime Minister Skerrit noted that given the resources being invested by government into the program, participants ought to commit themselves to the tasks at hand.
The beautiful thing about Dominica is this: everybody who has something in Dominica got it from Dominica. Nobody came out and brought anything to Dominica. So there are indeed opportunities for us and so on. So I really want to urge you, because we have decided as a government to launch a massive national onslaught on unemployment in the country. But we want you to help us address the issue of unemployment. Because we can have all the ideas, we can have the resources, we can have the technical expertise to assist you. But you have to make a determination to take advantage of it.
Minister for Trade and Employment, Honorable Dr. John McIntyre, remarked on exactly what this program will mean for participants.
Apprentices get the opportunity to have a bank account, a debit card, sign up for internet banking and telephone banking services, and that all apprentices get registered with the Dominica Social Security. These are very important life-altering experiences that will be happening here today for the next 8 weeks in the lives of you, the apprentices. This is the experience of the next level, ladies and gentlemen. You'll be exposed to the techniques of the culinary art industry, starting and managing a small business, money management, identifying special leakages, and the benefits of social security. At the end of this exercise and experience with the Ministry of Employment, you would have journeyed towards acquiring an income-generating skill, transitioning into getting a job or creating a job for yourself individually.
Honorable McIntyre believes that the field of culinary arts is proving to be a growing industry, and apprentices would do well to get involved.
Cooks, chefs, and food preparation workers can work in restaurants, in private homes, in schools and institutions, test kitchens, as caterers. Pretty much anywhere there's a need for a professional food service. The kind of work is varied as the kind of food people want. Upscale, casual, West Indian, international cuisine, fusions thereof, cakes, pastries, desserts, research and test cooking, avant-garde cuisine, the list goes on. Other occupations have come from the education in the culinary art includes food writers and cooking instructors.
The Employment and Small Business Support Agency launched its first apprenticeship program where participants learn the art of stone cutting. Visitors to the Titu Gorge can view the result of their work. Prime Minister Skerrit committed his government to financing the setup of the small business resulting from module number 2. We'll bring you more from that launching in a subsequent newscast. So Jarna, I think that this is a really good initiative by the government. I think it's very remarkable because I would imagine that a number of young persons would want to begin their own business, but they do not necessarily have the resources to do so. So for government to take the initiative to not only teach them a new skill, but also pledge their support and assistance in helping them to even start a new business. I mean, you can't get any better than this.
Interesting that you should mention that, because at the launching of the module number 2, I noticed that there were about 50 participants, including 2 men. And what jumped out at me is that no matter what is said, with all the messages going around, it is a fact that Dominicans are ambitious, and given the opportunity to work, given avenues to develop themselves, Dominicans will work, because everybody there, they seem very interested in what was going on. And I think that shows that in a short space of time, within 8 weeks, we will see a whole new batch of culinary artists and nail technicians. Yeah. Dominicans are ambitious.
Yeah. I think that's good. And the Prime Minister also noted that, you know, that they should take this very seriously. And I would understand this because, you know, they're really putting a lot into these young people, giving them a stipend to come to these training sessions, and also assisting them in setting up the new business. So I think that it's something that they should really take seriously. You know, so the government can really feel that the effort that they're putting in assisting young people in being self-employed is really a fruitful one.
Something to note is that whereas in some countries governments distribute unemployment checks, this government seems interested in developing people. Instead of giving a man a fish, people are learning to fish. And outlined in government's growth and social protection strategy is development, small business development, and basically development on a whole. And I mean, it says to me that there is a plan. It's not just about tackling problems as they come, but there is a long-term plan, and that includes small business development. That's encouraging.
Yes, very.
And that's the English news. McPherson St. Luce is next with the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, ministre employement qui a facilité trainement pour jeunesse pays là apprendre les affaires culinary arts. Ça c'est différents modules qui concernent préparation manger. Plusieurs jeunes monde qui participent en module salam qui est facilité par madame Marilyn Coffey Morris. Ministre employement tient une cérémonie bon matin là où le programme l'a lancé. Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit et puis ministre employment Honorable Dr. John Colin McIntyre adressé cérémonie là qu'un support gouvernement pour programme ça. Honorable Dr. John Colin McIntyre c'est ministre des affaires employment.
Aujourd'hui, ça nous a fait une campagne comme jeune monde à ACA, des Public Service Training. Ça nous a fait aujourd'hui, nous avons commencé en module, ça c'est nous avons commencé à faire apprendre comment ça tweet magie. Donc, il y a un jeune monde à Dominique qui veut faire un bitin pour eux. So aujourd'hui, nous, a small business agency, nous qui sommes responsables pour employment, ça nous a fait aujourd'hui, nous avons fait apprendre comment nous a tweet magie de différentes manières, comme si les touristes qui viennent ici, tout le monde qui vient ici, ils les tapent en qualité magie. Il y a un logien monde qui a fait une magie. Mais aujourd'hui, nous avons comme si en scientifique manière, ça on peut faire comme si pour santé, ça c'est pour health hygiene, nous avons ça food hygiene, food preparation, manière nous avons fait pour tweet magie comme si pour brûler. Comment on présente magie, ou passer pour d'achine fait et puis couper au mettre dans son assiette. Nous pour quand add value pour yo faire primaire comme si de là yo que primaire. Il y a d'autres ces jeunes monde là nous ca parler pour comment yo ca nettoyer et puis faire washement pour zoteil monde ça c'est pour la main et puis pied yo ca qui ça culinaire manicure et puis pédicure nous ca mener faire apprendre ça aussi tout. So ça nous ca faire donc c'est pareil pour nous comment nous ça faire jeune monde à Dominique, pas jeune monde tout seul mais monde à Dominique taper employment and là nous te voyez en parole là dehors ça c'est nous fait 2008 nous fait small business unit et puis actuellement nous avons monde qui venir ka chibi la men pour nous aller courir en premier ministre a dit ike aider yo comme si yo fini un petit éducation nous ça faire un bon petit manière comme ça mettre l'argent en place small business là pour yo venir acheter pour yo faire business avec nous que marché puis yo.
La nouvelle Dominique Boncher et puis plusieurs pays Kawaii pour Hazard Week, ça c'est pour commencer à mettre mise en place pour des as qui a commencé en mois de juin l'année salam. Ministère pour des as Honorable Charles Savin délivre l'adresse aujourd'hui.
Saison hurricane a commencé le 1er juin. Avec en saison ça là, il est nécessaire pour nous mettre un rangement en place. En tout cas, c'est un désastre. Comme ça, semaine ça là, a commencé jeudi, lundi, avec semaine samedi. Nous avons observé ça nous a créé Hazard Week, ou si vous voulez, Hazard Awareness Week. Ça c'est pour faire mon, comme si dit, mettez pris attention à ça qui ça fait. Si nous avons mauvais temps, si nous avons gros la pluie, si nous avons défalement, avec bagaille comme ça, avec ça nous qui fait en tout cas quelque chose comme ça fait. Comme ça, c'est pour nous à caille nous, à l'école nous, en place où nous travaillons, en communauté nous, en pays là entier, tenir un programme qui ça nous qui fait en tout cas check désastre bon place.
La nouvelle Attorney General Honorable Levi Peter qui fait présentation à ce compte Dominique en gros meeting FATF qui est en place en Nicaragua semaine salam. Recommandation FATF c'est standard international au compte money laundering. Ça, c'est business, l'argent, corruption. C'est recommandation, ça là, hors FATF, qui a facilité le pays faire bon business financier. Ministère légal, Honorable Ian Douglas, fait parole qui participation Dominique bien nécessaire, qu'on pays là qui continue de positionner quoi, qui concerne le système financier en région là. Et puis finalement, organisation gouvernement local d'Ala, en collaboration avec Calga, qui continue et puis workshop où là, il y a 20 officiers village council pays là. Il y a fait parole qui c'est trainement salam, qui motive ces council là faire travail à yo premier. Madame Vincent George, c'est officier Calga.
C'est quoi ça là qui motive tu? Yo keni un motivational factor pour yo vivre et pour yo sentir yo ça condé yo ça commander council yo. Yo sa ende council yo pour faire projects pour faire ça yo ka lac ça yo pas savent parce que là où pas savent c'est un mauvais bagage so nous ka faire yo savent et là yo pas savent nous ke ende yo pour connaître pour retourner à council yo pour yo develop manivrer pour mener bon proposal to ces donneurs là VNG et c'est tout différents donneurs là à Dominique pour yo ça develop project yo.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle créole pour à présent. Non moins c'est McPherson Luce. Au revoir.
Coming up next, a tip to train your brain.
Documentaries and in-depth discussions, community walkthroughs, and Yes We Care. See it all on GIS Channel 7.
Instead of taking everything at face value, get into the habit of questioning everyday things, products, and services that you come into contact with.
By being curious and questioning everything, you force your brain to innovate and create new ideas. Curiosity may have killed the cat. More importantly, it created important things like electricity and the computers.
And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website at news.gov.dm.
Friend us on our Facebook page and be sure to like our GIS Dominica fan page. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm Jarna Hector.
And I'm Kimani Saint-Jean. Thanks for watching.